Sorry, we're just having a little bit of conversation here. Well, welcome back to the Power Breakfast News. As always on Thursdays, we feature innovation, and of course today Patrick Igunza is away in a net of paternity, so shout out to Igunza and the little one. So I'm here with brilliant people, and remember the GS just concluded, and one of the things we were challenged to do was to be innovative as youth, to go out there and get our ideas and to see them grow and to grow the economy. And so today I want my panel to introduce themselves, and then I'll tell you why they're here. But remember, if you want to get in touch with us, it is 22422. That is our SMS number, 22422, and the hashtag to use on Twitter is Power Breakfast, at Citizen TV Kenya, at Kidigo Ngarwa, at Willis Raburu, and of course at Patrick Gunza in absentia. Well, wake him up as well. All right, so I'll start from you, sir. Introduce yourself, then the rest.
I'm Mark Corrado. I'm the U.S. Embassy's Power Africa team leader, and here to talk about the great work we have off the grid with amazing entrepreneurs.
All right.
Okay, I'm Charles Omondi. I'm the executive chairman of Pfoofy Power Ltd, and I'm here to talk about the great job you're doing in Jakarta.
Okay.
Yeah. My name is Amos Nguru, CEO and founder of Afrisol Energy Ltd. So I'm here to showcase what we are doing as far as realizing the dream of off-grid challenges concerned.
All right. So you're not done, sorry. You're saying something else?
No, I'm done with the introduction.
All right. So now, first of all, let me shake your hand, because these people shook Obama's hand, so I'm rubbing it off. So tell us about, we'll start with Charles. Tell us about your project.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, our project is based on renewable energy. What we are actually doing is we are using electric motorcycles to power rural transport.
Okay.
As you may all know, like in the rural households, the most common mode of transport are fuel-powered motorcycles. These are very expensive. The result is high cost of goods for the rural community. So what we are doing, we are trying to bring into Kenya or into the rural community transport, which is transport means which has already been proven in developing countries. Like in the USA, India and China, electric motorcycles are very common. But if we come back to Kenya, we might not actually be able to use this technology because of electricity connection. As you may know, like currently it's at around 25%. So this kind of transport cannot be used in Kenya.
So like that one there, that's an example of what you're talking about?
Yeah, so that's an example of one of the motorcycles that we are currently using. Okay. So what we are doing as a company, we are developing solar charging stations in the rural community from where these motorcycles are charged in mass. From these stations, drivers whom we've trained and on customer care and traffic codes, then rent these motorcycles at around 200 shillings per day, then use them to transport both people and goods to and from the urban communities. Yeah.
So what inspired you to come up with this idea?
Actually, I grew up in the village. Okay. So it was very painful to see how much people are spending to transport agricultural produce from their farms to the urban centers where the market really exists. So as an innovator, I tried to think of ways on which we could solve this challenge. So while I was reading some books about technology and so on, so I came across electric motorcycles. Then I started thinking about how we can actually put this into our context. Like, how can you actually apply this technology into the Kenyan context where we don't have electricity? That's when I decided to do a pilot that was in Nyakach, where we installed a 1 kilowatt charging station, and we started with 3 motorcycles. Yeah, that was a pilot, but that was back in 2013. Okay.
Yeah. So electric motorcycles, that's just one. Yeah. Let's talk to Amos. What is yours about?
Afrisol Energy Ltd is this great company that converts organic waste into biogas, and this biogas runs generators, or it can be used for direct cooking as well as direct heating. So that organic material could be cow dung, pig manure, market waste. We are also working on institutional toilets, whereby you could have school toilet waste being channeled into a biodigester. Then the resulting gas is fuel for generation of electricity.
Like that, what's happening in that particular picture?
Yeah, what is happening there is construction of biodigester going on. Basically, those are twin biodigesters in a prison, where the toilet waste now from the prison goes into those digesters, and then they're able to generate gas for cooking.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's for cooking, and then also for electricity. How much would it be like to set up something like that?
System like that, because it is institutional, is a bit expensive to put up, because it will cost anything between 5 and 10 million. But then when you look at the returns on investment thereafter, it is something worth investing into, because at the end of the day we end up solving 3 problems in one package. One of them is that we do waste management, then we also generate energy, and number 3, the product that we get at the end is high quality organic fertilizer. So if we want to help Africa in a great way, this is the way to go, man.
All right.
Yes.
So 2 very inspiring innovations here, and we'll come back to talk a little bit more about them. But how is Power Africa fitting into all this?
Well, Power Africa is to be a partner for amazing ideas like this. I came to Kenya 2 years ago, and I think the first thing you realize is how entrepreneurial Kenya is, and how there's amazing ideas coming out every single day. That's why the GES came here. That's why President Obama showed personal interest in this, especially in renewable energy, especially in off-the-grid work. Our job is to catalyze in different parts of the chain to make sure ideas like this can get to market. So whether it's trying to find finance, whether it's early-stage finance, both Charles and Amos won our off-the-grid challenge 2013-2014 for the $100,000 startup grant. Whether it's looking at technical capacity or legal assistance, all across the board, how can we catalyze to make sure these kind of ideas see the market?
So if I have like an idea, say any sort of ideas I come across, how can I then come and get in touch with you? And then what will you do? You also offer training? And because if you just have a basic idea of, let's say I'm him, for example, and I just have this idea, say, okay, I want to make an electric motorcycle,
right.
But then maybe I have no background in electrical engineering, for example, or something like that.
Sure.
So do you offer skills training as well?
Sure. Well, we have, first of all, it's a toolbox, right?
Okay.
So it's trying to find the different parts you need to put together to make sure the idea can happen. In most cases, the ideas are the genius comes from the people who come to us, and then we're the catalyst. So, for example, you ask about early stage funding is usually a challenge that's really hard for somebody to get over. They have to prove their idea to somebody, and usually banks and other kind of capital want some proof that's going to work. So we try to get in there and show through our competitions and other ways there's proof. We have a transaction advisor that's part of our team. He can get in there and look at a different stage of where a company is at and help figure out what the next step is. A lot of times the path is very unknown. So that's another example. We do work on the Kenyan government side as well, supporting their vision to electrify all of Kenya. So sometimes we work on the grid itself. So for larger programs, how does the grid take on renewable energy? Some of the leading wind and geothermal and so forth, solar, that's coming in the grid. So it's both on and off the grid. In this case, off the grid, the entrepreneurs really are driving it.
So how is that? You said it's an off-the-grid challenge? Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so in this particular, there's like I mentioned, a number of tools. Okay. This one, the Power Africa Off-Grid Challenge, is a partnership between a couple of U.S. government agencies and General Electric, where every year there's a round. We've given out $2.8 million so far across 6 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, where great ideas come and compete, and the winners rise to the top, and they receive a grant of up to $100,000 US.
All right. So how has that helped you guys? The grant, like you guys had 100,000. How much is that Kenyan shillings? We had 2 zeros.
Yeah. For example, like when the Power Africa came in to help us, like we started a pilot. The pilot was started in 2013. So as I said earlier, we started with 3 motorcycles, which were being charged by 1 kilowatt solar chain station. So when Power Africa called for interest, we applied, and we won the grant. So the grant is currently enabling us to expand our pilot from the 3 motorcycles to 40 motorcycles, which will be charged through 2 10 kilowatt solar chain stations. That is in Nyakasha.
So you say it's solar?
Yeah, it's solar, yeah.
It's solar.
Yeah.
So the solar comes from somewhere else? You partnered with somebody?
No, we do, like solar comes from the sun.
Yeah. So you partnered with the sun?
Yeah, we partnered with the sun. So the only thing that we need is the solar charging station, where we have a structure. I think I had a picture of it.
Oh, so there it is, that's the picture.
So, but that's a picture, that is set up that we went with to GS.
Okay.
So like we have a solar panel system, which harvests the energy from the solar. Then from that we have circuitry, which actually converts the DC from the solar panel system into AC, which enables us to charge the electric motorcycles.
How long does it take? You know, I'm thinking of it like a phone. How long does it take to get it to 100%? For the versions that we have, it takes around between 4 to 6 hours to fully charge. Yeah. So like you can plug it in at night and in the morning you're good.
Yeah, you can do that.
And then how long will it last after that?
It can do 6 kilometers. Yeah, on each charge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are there like specific rules, you know, like the way we are told with phones, don't leave it charging overnight, don't leave it plugged in? Like, are there any specific rules?
Not really, but we could say everything has rules. Like, for example, but for the motorcycle, like with the electric one, you don't need to drive it so fast. If you do drive it so fast, then the millage could actually reduce because you are actually withdrawing a lot of current from the battery. Okay. Yeah.
All right. And how did the money help you?
With the $100,000 US that we won in 2013, we have put up a biodigester system at Mukuru Kwajenga primary school. Then above the biodigester, we have done a toilet block for the school. Then we have put up a gas storage room, and then we have imported a 15 kilowatts generator. And with that, we are able now to generate electricity to light up the school, power their computers. And we are also having a high mask light that is shedding light in the neighborhood. So basically, we have managed to light up that area with that particular grant that we received. Yes. And
going forward, what? And I'd also like to bring Mark in. Going forward in terms of the partnership, after they get the first, he'll have his 40 motorcycles. It's done. Is it a long-term thing? Do you keep coming back and checking, hey, how are you guys doing? Do you need any more help and stuff like that?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's a partnership, and I think that's really what defines the initiative, is that the needs financially are tremendous to electrify Africa. The challenges in going through any one of these cycles as an entrepreneur, as getting a power project up, is tremendous. So it's a partnership, and all those other tools we have, we hope to engage as we go forward. You know, we were just talking today, what's the next step? And as we were waiting, well, where are you guys going from here? What do you think the next challenge is in terms of bringing your product to market?
Yeah, actually, maybe I would want to add something. Like, for example, yesterday we had a meeting with a partner of the USADF. USADF is a partner of Power Africa. So actually, they brought in somebody from Washington. That was yesterday. Who is actually trying to look into our company and enable us and prepare us for second round of investment, like we are set up. So they're trying to get us into the next stage.
What was your that is both of you. What was your takeaway from the GS summit? Of course, apart from meeting Obama, and we'll run those pictures a little bit shortly. But then, what was your takeaway from the summit?
What we are able to get from the summit is networks, because we are able to network with quite a number of investors. And of course, the process of getting an investment can be quite long, but at least we were able to interact with them at a close range, present our ideas, and then from there we move forward step by step, and we hope finally we'll be able to secure some form of angel or impact investment into our startups. Yes.
All right, so you see what we're doing right now? You did that to Obama.
Sure. It felt great, man.
Yes.
Obama is, you can see that photo.
Yeah, there it is. Right there.
I really made that man laugh, and I didn't know I could be the next Churchill, a comedian. And he's very easy to go with.
Yes.
Because the moment he came to our stand, the first question he asked, is this a biomass reactor or a moonshine maker? For one, I didn't know what a moonshine maker is.
Yes.
I came to learn later that it's the equivalent of kumi of the US.
Yes.
So I went ahead and explained that is a biomass reactor, and explained how it works. What I liked about him is that he would listen very keenly. Then after listening, he would then explain to the people what he has, what you have told him. But he didn't answer my. When we were ending, I made a comment. I told him, now if we are to help Africa, this is the way to go. And at that time, he took it off. He really loved it, and then he told us, he told me, let's take a photo. So he got hold of me and told me to add the camera. So he went before telling me how we are going to move forward.
How to move forward.
Yeah. So I hope he is watching and he can tell us how we are going to move on from here.
All right. How about you?
Yeah, but in fact, even being here was because of years.
Yes.
And what I can also count out of the years, like I currently have like 50 business cards. Yeah, from prominent people, the senator, the head of USAID, the head of Power Africa.
Yes.
I have a business card from Makarato. See, like all these are connections, they are networks. And I think I'm also to meet like somebody from Qatar. That's tomorrow, which is because of attending years. So I'm really thankful for having attended it. Yeah.
All right. Now, Mark, you're the team leader of Power Africa, and you've been here, let's say, for 2 years. What do you think are some of the challenges that perhaps are facing the youth and making them not come out as strongly as maybe they should?
Well, I mean, I think if I flip that around, what these guys are doing, what they're going to bring all across the board, whether it's as a role model to show that, you know, starting a business, having a great idea, having that persistence to figure out how to keep moving and pushing forward is amazing. The power they're going to bring to people in rural Kenya is what the story is all about, right? People being able to study, healthcare being provided, small businesses growing in areas that may not have had the chance. So I think just as an example, and then what they're actually doing, that is why we're so excited to partner with this. That's why I think President Obama was so thrilled to meet and see these ideas. They're inspiring.
All right. And do you feel, you know, I mean, in terms of the future, rather, what are your plans for the future? And do you feel, for the youth, I mean, there are people who are watching now and they're probably saying, you know, I can't make it, I just have this idea. What would be your advice to them? And then also, what are your plans for the future?
Actually, the journey has been long for me. But what I actually believe it is, if you have an ambition or if you have a dream, if you really work towards it, and if you really know, if you know what you actually need to do to actually achieve that dream, then you're going to make it. Yeah.
So yes, youth can.
Yes, youth can.
As President Obama said. All right. What about you?
For me, what I would encourage the entrepreneurs who are coming up is that there will be barriers on the way as you move on. The going is not going to be smooth. So one must be determined to break barriers, to cross lines which are going to be drawn that you can't do this much. The most important thing is for one to believe in oneself, move on. When you get an obstacle, it doesn't mean the end of the journey. Just take an extra step and move on. Somebody somewhere will come and help you on the way.
Yes.
Not when you are home thinking and dreaming big, but just bring out your idea the way it is, as crude as it is. Just get it out there, and several people help to shape it up. I have originally I was not anybody who knew anything to do with construction, but I had the idea of generating gas out of biomass. So I moved out with the idea, and I got assistance to be able to put up the system together. So I would say the most important thing is for one to move out and be ready to break barriers and cross lines. Yes.
All right. So I'm just going to check what people are also saying on social media about this. Sorry, as it refreshes here. All right. So we have at Tabisio Kimani saying, how can I get involved in Power Africa? I bet he's probably asking if I want to come and pitch my idea or something.
Sure. No. A lot of ways. I think the easiest way is go on the website, USAID /Power Africa /Kenya, or Power Africa, just to see the general page. Tons of contact information on there. It'll eventually come back down quickly to us and our team, and we'll figure out a way to reach back out and set up either a meeting with our transaction advisor, steer you to one of the many tools we have, the off-grid challenge, if that's where you're looking. There's other programs as well. And then take it from there. It's very, very opportunistic to try to figure out exactly where someone's at and see what we can do to help.
So what the line of projects are? Is it just electricity, like Power Africa? Is it just what kind of the line of projects that are welcome that you're working on?
Well, Power Africa is energy, but it does go to other areas, right? So powering agriculture, for instance. A lot of great ideas coming out of looking at how to combine renewable energy and solar energy and other forms with agriculture. I mean, Amos's idea is right up there in that area. USAID, of course, as an agency, the U.S. Embassy has lots of programs in lots of areas, but in particular on the Power Africa side, just about any idea we could figure out how to plug in, we'll try to figure out a way to help.
All right, so there you have it. A lot of inspiration here. I think even Mayor should come up with something. I don't know if I can plug into one of these and have like a moving something. I don't know, maybe make your motorcycle 3 wheels, or get Harley Davidson to come and make it an electric powered Harley Davidson motorcycle. Hey, you never know, the possibilities are endless, and that was the main agenda as it is for this, to show you that whatever the idea that you have, it can take you places. One day you could be sitting somewhere thinking, he says his journey hasn't been easy, that's Charles, and he started from somewhere, and now look, he's been powered by Power Africa, and he shook hands with the most powerful man in the world. So it's all about power here on Power Breakfast. So I mean, if like you said, you can get in touch usa.gov/Power Africa, get more information about that, and also you can talk to us on 22422 in case you want their contacts, and if you want to get in touch with them as well, we will have their contact information, so they'll be able to link you up with them as well. So we hope you've been inspired and you've been empowered. As Nguru says, we are here to inform, to educate, and to entertain. Now we've informed you, we've educated you, it's now time to entertain you with the band on the other studio. Good morning.